The Lac-Mégantic train disaster was voted top news story of 2013 by CBC viewers online. And you may remember one of the key figures in this story was the chairman of the railway, Ed Burkhardt. In a recent interview looking back on the year, Burkhardt reflected on the disaster that killed 47 people and destroyed part of the town. He told the Canadian press that he was also a victim and also suffered a great loss. Mi-Young Lee is here now with more on what Ed Burkhardt had to say. Mi-Young?
Well, Sarah, Ed Burkhardt says that a day has not gone by where he hasn't thought about what happened on July 6th and that the Quebec derailment still haunts him to this day. And he wanted people to know that every day that he's been thinking of this, that he has also suffered, he's also lost. And when he talks about that, he says that he was one of the biggest investors to the railway, that subsequently since the disaster he lost his entire investment and that the company had to file for bankruptcy protection, and that this disaster created a huge hit to his bottom line. And he goes on to talk about since then that he suffered even more significant personal financial losses. And this is how he describes it. I'm going to read you a quote. He says, "That's a big pile of money, I might say. It's reduced me from being a fairly well-off guy to one that's just getting by." Now, he went on to say that he's not comparing his financial losses into the same category of the personal losses that people felt in Lac-Mégantic from death and destruction, but he wanted people to know that he did not walk away from this without suffering his own loss. And you'll remember, Sarah, back in the summer when Ed Burkhardt did come into Lac-Mégantic 4 days after, he gave a press conference, and it wasn't the fact that he was making headlines for being the chairman, it was because he was so blunt in those remarks that he made. And today he called himself a victim as well, and he also echoed the statements that he once again said earlier that summer. He says, quote, "They view me terribly, but I wasn't the guy who didn't set the brakes on the train." So, Sarah, already these new remarks creating a lot of online backlash as well. Ed Burkhardt reflecting, wanting people to know that he's also lost.
A lot of backlash over the summer, and once again, we're seeing it. Thanks, Mi-Young.